jackets or raincoats or sticky uniforms. They can't find Dramamine. They raid their purses for M&Ms, breath mints, or hard candy. Someday this plane will land. My mother swears that she will go back to Maine and never leave. Her friends and family will all have to find her there. See, my parents retired up to Maine. Okay, the next poem I'd like to read, this actually is in a specific form. I learned that form from a Facebook friend for Tad Richards. It's actually called a 5-4, and I will explain the form to you at some point, but not here while the meter is ticking. The social work assistant in Briarwood. In another life, you lived here, place that time and the city forgot. You would become mute here, too thick to speak, words clogged your throat. You could breathe, you swallowed mustard greens, blue cornbread is truth. You drank coffee, you just did not talk. Radio stuck on the 60s, sun squeezing through tiny panes. You wrote notes. You drank Diet Pepsi. You ate slices of pudding cake. Your husband talked, your friends did too. Leaves and thorns grew over glass. The sun turned back. Only memories of its touch remained. I want to read a short poem now. It's A Story at Dawn. And this poem I had the idea to write on the way to my uncle's funeral and on the 3:15 train. So we hit New York at dawn. A story at dawn. Nobody braves the city street, black as an iced over river between cars like snowbanks. Behind blinds, a man lingers over coffee. Its taste bitter enough to slice through sleep's thick fog. He pours in cream and sugar. Sleep sneaks back, washing through him. Sweet coffee cannot buoy him up. His wife lies awake beneath blankets, as white as dreams of summer's clouds. Okay. I'm going to read two more from this book. How much time do I have?
It's 6 minutes.
Okay. 5 minutes, okay. The first poem I'd like to, these days I'm writing a lot of extrastic poetry or poetry about art. And this happens to be a poem about a photograph that I saw online from a photographer from Presque Isle, Maine, which is way up north, further than I've ever been in my life. But you know, it was an amazing photograph. Facing east at dawn. The driftwood is a hand grasping something, then letting it go. Stars scatter above, as if this hand had tossed them up into the morning sky. Up there, they grow brighter. They will fade when sunrise washes away night. Yet, there is light now. Stars band together into the Milky Way. Clouds form like clusters of maple leaves clinging to water. The water is itself. It reflects nothing. It rests beneath the sky, awaiting sunrise and its long day as a sparkling mirror. It contains everything: cans, rocks, hornpout, weeds. Before dawn, its splash on the shore is quieter. No birds break its surface. Across the lake, someone's car rounds the curve. From the next town near to sunrise, its light is a fallen star. Soon, others will follow. And the last poem that I want to read from our anthology is Alternative History in Stanton, Virginia. And I like alternative history. I like to read it. I've never actually, I've only written it in poetry, but here goes. The man who sings my favorite song wanders the streets of this small city. He no longer carries his guitar, too heavy for walking past 70, on uneven brick sidewalks that all run uphill. An ex-smoker, he catches his breath beneath the marquee of the last one-screen movie theater, the one that used to show movies he liked. It reeks of buttered popcorn. He moves on past the site of the old Woolworths, the one that sold his records back when they were hits, when they floated out of windows, even in this mountain town, before they clung to him, never leaving the room, with the reel-to-reel tape, never leaving home. And I think maybe one more. This is not in any book, not yet anyways. It's also in the 5/4 format that Tad Richards taught me. And it's about the city I was born in, called Facing Worcester, Massachusetts. Myself a compass needle, I face north towards my birthplace, the antique hospital on one of 7 hills in the city of spas, piazzas, parlors, and tonic, words no one uses anymore. I face rice squares, African cloth stores, bodegas, and Indian fonts on bags of rice and red lentils, remembering the Polish nuns who fought Grammy on how to say his name. I face the city of Water Street, barrels of dill half-sours, kosher soap, hipsters, whiskey bars. And I think maybe I want to read a little poem in I Dream of Empathy, just so that you know that I have poems. And this is a little poem. This is in the 3rd year of the drought. It's one of my ecological poems. I think it was actually part of a poem that I wrote based on this painting by my friend B, who at the time lived in California. In the 3rd year of the drought, drapes across the windows conceal the landscape outside, the solitary trees, the metallic sky, the scuffed hills that were once pillows for a dead man's dreams, back when it rained all winter, and he was a young man imagining himself old. Only the immigrants are outside, riding bicycles on the ash-black road, in the harsh sun and constant drought. Inside, a cat toys with cardboard, imitating the sound of rain on branches and leaves over the roof, covering over the sounds of the bicycles and the men's Spanish. Trabajo, trabajo, borracho, trabajo. Thank you.